Alright, welcome back, V.O.C. YouTube channel. Fucking gonna flail the hands, I don't know, get the fucking people going today. Super Bowl recap. NFL season has officially come to a close. We are done with it. We have to wait, I don't know how many months, 6 months, whatever it is, until the next game start back up. But we're going to continue to talk about it throughout the winter, throughout the off season, and that's just going to be that. So let's jump into Super Bowl breakdown right now. Like I said, look, the NFL season's come to a close. It's been a long, I don't even know how long the season is, what, 6, 7 months it feels like. Great season. I think overall the playoff games were great to watch. They were entertaining. The Super Bowl was really close. I think it was one of those games where there were probably a lot of people surprised the Bengals were in it until the end there. And then, it was kind of one of those, defensive matchups kept going back and forth, and then it picked up in the third quarter. Picked up in the last 3 minutes of the game, and then it just exploded to what we had watched in the last final minutes. If you don't know, if you didn't watch the game, if you don't give a fuck about the game, right? Some people don't. That's your personal preference. It's not my preference. The Rams beat the Bengals 23-20. Cooper Kupp was the Super Bowl MVP. Could have been him or Donald, in my opinion. They both had great games. They didn't have them, they wouldn't have won the game. Cooper Kupp got the touchdown, the game-winning touchdown. Ended up being the game-winning touchdown. Scored that. That was his second of the night. Aaron Donald had the big play on Joe Burrow on fourth down that ended the game. I mean, it just felt like the Rams were so talented in the way that they were constructed this year. It felt like they could flip a switch and they would turn it up. And that's what Aaron Donald did. I don't know what the Bengals... So, Aaron Donald, it was a play, I think early third quarter, whatever it was. Joe Burrow's running out of... He wasn't even running out of bounds, he was running. Aaron Donald pushes him out of bounds. All the Bengals players thought, oh, it's a dirty hit. They all start jumping up in the grill of Aaron Donald. That fucking turned up Aaron Donald. Once they did that, they fucked up. They shouldn't have did that because that flipped the script and he was like, fuck you guys. And from there on out, Aaron Donald was dominant. Stafford throws that pick, and it was a horrible fucking pick, right? The Bengals get the ball. Great field position. Ben Skronik should have caught it. Yeah. Did he go to Notre Dame? Yeah, but he transferred only a year. Not going to claim him forever. It is what it is. So, Ben Skronik drops the ball. Pick. Bengals get it. Great field position. They're inside, I think, the 20-yard line, 25. Third and whatever. Aaron Donald just fucking bull rushes up the middle. Sacks Joe Burrow, forces them to kick a field goal, which then takes that game to 13-20 instead of 24-13. Completely changed the game. Once that happened, that gave the Rams the drive, the motivation to kind of get in there and then end up sealing the victory. Matthew Stafford threw for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The one interception where he told Van Jefferson to keep running got picked off by Jesse Bates. That was like a punt. It was, that didn't hurt him as much as that one could have cost him that I just talked about. Like I said, Cooper Kupp, MVP, had 8 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Odell Beckham Jr., you could tell in the first 2 drives for the Rams, OBJ was the guy that they were going to go at all night long to get the ball to. The game plan was set up like, you guys are going to try and take away Cooper Kupp. We're going to throw to OBJ. He had the first touchdown in the game. He had 2 receptions, 52 yards. And then, sadly, he had the non-contact knee injury on the same knee that he injured last season against the Bengals, where he ended up tearing his ACL. Probably that's what happened. That's what they're thinking. So he goes out early. The Rams are reeling, like trying to figure out what they're going to do. They only ran for a total of 43 yards all night. It wasn't there. And then the last drive, they figured it out. They were like, fuck it. Cooper Kupp doubled. We're still going to go to him. But you could tell early in that game, OBJ was the guy that they were going to fucking just feed the ball to, showcase him, and kind of be like, you fucking Browns, you couldn't let this guy fucking work for you? So, I feel terrible for OBJ. He's a free agent at the end of this year. See how that goes. He was crying when he came back out. So, you know, not good at all. But he does win a Super Bowl. Cements a legacy. Gets to shove it up to the Browns' asses. You know, and like I said, I think he was on his way to being, you could argue, if he played that whole game, he might have been the MVP. Aaron Donald, like I said, dominant. 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. He had the game-clinching play where somehow Joe Burrow still got that fucking ball out. The Rams had 7 total sacks on the Bengals. That was pretty much the game, right? The Bengals didn't play bad. You know, it wasn't like the Bengals were just so horrible they lost the game. No, Joe Burrow, 263 yards, 1 touchdown. Joe Mixon, 15 carries, 72 yards. He threw a touchdown pass. T. Higgins had 4 receptions for 100 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. The one controversial where he grabs the face mask of Ramsey. Should have been a flag, but they didn't call it there. Jamar Chase had 5 receptions, 89 yards. Their defensive line played great. Their corners got burned a little bit. But the more I think about it, what corner in the NFL isn't getting burnt nowadays? Like Jalen Ramsey got burnt a couple times. It's just these receivers are so good now. They're so fast. Their movements, the way they get off the line, you can't touch them off the line. A corner is going to get burnt nowadays. It doesn't matter who you are, how great you are of a corner, you're going to get burnt. So that's not a big killer, right? But the offensive line, I think Joe Burrow was sacked 70 times completely from regular season playoffs. I think it tied a Super Bowl record, 7 sacks, I think, with Roger Staubach. That was, I mean, I talked about that last week. That's what the game's going to come down to. Can they protect him? And at the end of the day, they couldn't. Because if you go watch that final play where Aaron Donald almost gets to him, he had Jamar Chase wide open. Jalen Ramsey fell down. So if you just gave him another second and a half, 2 seconds, the Bengals might win that fucking game. But you got to have an offensive line around Joe. And if you don't, you ain't going to win nothing. Because he's already been hurt once. He was limping during the game. So you have the pieces. Just build in front, and then you can be sustainable. That's why I want to move into next. What's next for both these teams, right? Because getting to a Super Bowl is very hard. Winning a Super Bowl is ultimately harder. Getting back after you've won, getting back after you've lost, that's the hardest fucking thing to do. We haven't had a repeat champion since the Patriots in 2004. The Chiefs got back last year after they won. They didn't make it back this year. A lot changes in the NFL. Salary cap wise, other teams are healthier now. I think the Super Bowl favorites for next year are the Chiefs and Bills. So it's going to be bleak for the Bengals to try and get back. There's potential, depending on what their division does. Other team in their division, Pittsburgh gets a quarterback. Browns figure out their shit. Ravens come back healthy and add a few more pieces. That the Bengals might not even be the favorite to win their division. But, this is what I think is next and what these teams should be thinking about. Like, the Bengals, you have a young quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. You have the 4th most salary cap in the NFL, $55 million. You need offensive linemen, you need a few more corners, and you need another pass rusher. Because Trey Henderson was great. If you would have had another guy on the other side with him, it could have been the other way flipped, right? They need to re-sign Jesse Bates first, though. They need to get that done. He had a pick against Stafford. Very good safety for them. And they need to continue to add. Not be the Bengals before and be complacent. Oh, blah, blah. That's what Carson Palmer's been talking about. They need to do all these things. They have the money to do it. They have the time to do it because they don't have to re-sign anybody because they're so young. But are they going to do it? History does not tell you this is what the Bengals do. So we have to wait and see on that. But Bengals, you have a core. You have a nucleus. Build off of it. Or Joe Burrow is going to end up leaving or being Andrew Luck where he doesn't play anymore. And then for the Rams, there's a lot of questions. Like Aaron Donald may retire. That came out before the game. Rodney Harrison, Michelle Tafoya both said that before the game. Potentially retirement. He's not denied it or said he is. So it'd be interesting. But some people are questioning, is that just for him to get re-signed for more money? Don't know. And then there's talk that Sean McVay might leave to go work at ESPN or in the TV side of things. He's 36, youngest Super Bowl champion ever. I think he's about to get married, wants to kind of start a family. Who knows? Or that could be him wanting a new contract too. These are the things the Rams have to work out before they do a lot of things. Like what's that? If they don't have Aaron Donald, their defense is not as good. Their defense moves from elite to middle of the pack. They don't have Sean McVay. They moved from elite to middle of the pack or below at the head coaching position. You got to replace Andrew Whitworth. He's most likely going to retire. He's 40 years old at left tackle. You got to sustain these things. You got to. This is, I think, and this is where we're always going to overlook this. And I get Jamar Chase had a great year, and he did at wide receiver, but we continue to overlook the importance of an offensive line. You know, one guy said, "Oh, now with Joe Burrow being so great, we're just going to worry about a generational quarterback that can come in and change everything." When at the end of the day, the offensive line still matters. Matthew Stafford's 33, going to be 34. You need to protect him. You need to re-sign Von Miller or just add another pass rusher. Bring back OBJ if everything with the knee looks like it can be healed properly and good, because even OBJ at 75% for them at third wide receiver, because Robert Woods will come back, and that's better than a lot of other teams' number 2 wide receiver. They're $10 million against the cap right now, but they have a lot of money coming. I think like Jared Goff comes off. They have money that comes off, so they'll be in, I think, the $35 million range. And then the next question is Matthew Stafford. What happens there? Do you give him a new contract? He's still under contract, but he's at like $20 million or $23 million. That's a bargain now for a guy that's won a Super Bowl, right? But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought the game was really good. The commercials they sucked. They're not like they used to be. I could make a video just sitting down breaking the commercials down, but that wouldn't be fun because they were fucking overall, they were garbage, trash. They were the worst thing I've ever saw. A few that were good. Sopranos one was pretty good. Larry David, I don't know. I love Larry David, though. The Austin Powers Dr. Evil one, it's shit I grew up on. There were a few good ones. Overall, they fucking sucked, though. They were garbage. The halftime show I thought was exquisite. That's a big word I'm going to throw out there. It was exquisite. It was really good. It was entertaining. I like that kind of music. I grew up on that stuff. My mom raised me on that stuff. It really paid off during that halftime show. So it was one of those shows where you had to like that music to like the show. I thought it was amazing. Like, I watched it live. And then in my class, the day after, we watched it again for my sports history class. And I didn't realize just how great Mary J. Blige was until I watched it again. I'm like, Mary J. Blige was fucking amazing. She was way better than I thought she was. She did I thought it was just great. I thought the whole show was great. Now, was it the best I've ever seen? No. Prince's Purple Rain in the Rain in Miami, 06. Super Bowl, 07 Super Bowl, technically. That's the greatest one ever. It was a one-man show. What he did, fucking up there, raining. He's fucking Prince. To me, that's the greatest of all time. But this one was very good. It's going to be very hard for whoever does it next, to come in and fucking change it up. I hope it's not Taylor Swift. If it's Taylor Swift, I will fucking boycott the halftime show. We all know I hate Taylor Swift. She's overrated. I would hope Dua Lipa does it. Like, Dua Lipa would fucking tear that shit up. But overall, I think it was great. It was a great performance. Eminem, I think, could have did the whole show his fucking self. Kendrick Lamar was really good. 50 Cent coming out was hilariously awesome. Because everybody's like hating on 50 Cent, right? That's what makes it. They're like, oh, he's a buck 50 cent or he's 250 cent. The motherfucker's jacked. Not like he was fat. That fucker's bulked. I wouldn't fuck with 50 Cent still. Like, that guy's fucking arms were bigger than my legs. And not like fat-wise. That fucker is jacked. So all these people hating on 50, it's like, dude, slow down. He did a great job. Like I said, overall, I thought the show was great. Commercials sucked. The game was good. It was entertaining. It wasn't a blowout. Picked up there the last 3 minutes. No, I think it was really good. The LA factor was crazy to see, like the amount of stars at a game. I thought it was overall well done. Not going to give Roger Goodell credit because he's a fuck, but overall it was good. I really enjoyed it. And it was fun to see different teams, per se, in the Super Bowl. I'm a Brady guy, so I'd love to see Tom in the Super Bowl every year. But look, I have a new little flavor, new little hope to what's going on. But I think overall it was great. Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, it was great. That's all I can describe. It was great. Halftime show was great. It wasn't the best I've ever seen. It was up there, but not the best. I'm a Prince guy. I really like Prince. Purple Rain in the Rain. Can't say any better. But I did really like it. It was nice to see a different flavor of, it's not just pop. We're not just going to get people up there to dance and sing. No, we're going to change it up. I fucking loved it. All right. Title of this video, Matthew Stafford is now a Hall of Famer. I could have argued before this game Matthew Stafford is going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Just look at the yardage he has and everything. And now, like, what does winning one Super Bowl, at least just one as a starting quarterback, do for you? These are all the starting quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl that are in the Hall of Fame. Just one. Joe Namath, Len Dawson, Johnny Unitas, Kenny Stabler, Steve Young. He has one as a starter. You know, he's backup. Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, and Aaron Rodgers. And I didn't have Patrick Mahomes, you know, and that kind of stuff, but you get the gist. Those guys are in the Hall of Fame. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. Winning one Super Bowl does so much for you. Stafford, like I said, I would argue he was a Hall of Famer, but now I think worldwide, media landscape, NFL-wise, he's a Hall of Famer without a doubt. Not saying he's first ballot, but he went from, oh, he played in Detroit, give him some points, to, no, he's a Hall of Famer. He showed a lot of stuff. So I think it is what it is. And then you look at like where he's at right now in the passing yards and passing touchdowns. He's 12th overall right now in the passing yards list at 49,995. Almost there to 50. He'll most likely pass John Elway, who's ahead of him next year. I think he's like just over 1,000 some away. He's 12th on the touchdown passing record with 323. That's more than John Elway has in his career, and he should move up to the next tier of 11 next year. So, for all the people that are going to argue Stafford's not, yeah, Stafford is. Like, this guy, he's only 33, 5, 8, he can play as ever long as he wants. So, like, he's a Hall of Famer. If you want to argue he's not, I think you're an idiot, but that's just you, and that's just me. But I wanted to highlight that because what just winning just one Super Bowl does for you is crazy. Like, if you look at it, like, he has as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers. Like, you would never have thought that 5 years ago with Matthew Stafford in Detroit. Doesn't always work out for Detroit. Players in Detroit, usually they retire before they have a chance to go somewhere else. Matthew didn't want to do that. He said, I want to win, and I'm going to leave. Not retire early when I can still play and be great. Yeah, I mean, so winning one Super Bowl, Hall of Famer, Matt Stafford. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, these fucking Detroit Lions fans. How idiotic are you idiots out there? You fucking, okay, I get it. Stafford was your quarterback for, what, 13 fucking how many, 12 years, whatever it was. I get it. He leaves you. If I was a team, if I was a fan of the Lions, I'd be pissed. This guy fucking left us. Basically said our organization is trash. Garbage. It's hopeless. Doesn't matter what we do here. Who we have at quarterback. We're never going to win anything. You guys are fucking sitting up there cheering. You're like, oh, we won the Super Bowl. No, you didn't. You didn't win shit. He fucking smeared you guys and basically said, you guys fucking suck. And then you guys are cheering for him? Whoa. A little much for me. I don't get it. The Detroit Rams t-shirts I saw on the internet that were being sold, get the fuck out of town. That is disgusting. You guys don't get it. This is why you guys can't have nice things, because you fuck them up, and then they leave you, and you're like, oh, I still want it, no. Move on. It's over. It is over. No more Matthew Stafford for you. No more. No more. No more. Like, get over it. He left you. Quit cheering for him. Quit saying this one, you won one. You didn't. You still haven't won shit in life. You still suck as an organization. Do I think you're coming up in the organization with who you have in place? Yes. But don't fucking prance around town like you won something. You didn't. You didn't win shit. That's been irking me. Gross. When I saw the Detroit Rams, I was like, gross. 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 They're selling Matthew Stafford Rams shirts up here, Super Bowl shirts. Gross. 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 It's disgusting. Get over yourself. You didn't win shit. He left you. And you should be sad because he showed your organization sucks. That is my P's and Q's. That's my thoughts on the overall these idiotic Lion fans. Like, gross. These are gross. Like, I could throw up right now. Gosh. Like I said, overall Super Bowl, game was great. Commercials, garbage. Halftime show was exquisite. Exquisite. Like I said, those are the themes of this video. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do more NFL videos. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. I'll break down next week. Baseball, if that ever starts, do videos there. I'm going to start making NBA videos just because football's kind of over. Schedule's really fucking tight, doing so much in school right now. Producing a TV show at the school, that takes up a lot of like our class's time. So we do that 3-4 days a week. We're working on that. So when I can make videos, I'm gonna make them. They are coming, and they will be great. Okay? This guy right here with 2 thumbs is not garbage. This guy's great. All right? Thanks for watching. Like I said, that's it. Detroit friends, gross. You're gross. Thanks for watching.